life. It's kind of like these 3 juggling balls right here. You see, you wake up, you start off your day with something simple like brushing your teeth. And then eventually, you're on to the next thing. But then, things start to pile up, and you're at work, you're going, and you're at meetings, you're on your phone, you're going, and all of a sudden, you stop. You take a break, you wind down. You attend a Toastmasters meeting to learn a little bit about public speaking. But then, things start to pile up again. And that's life. You never know what's gonna throw at you, but you always manage to juggle it day in and day out. It may get messy once in a while, and you may fall, but you always manage to pick yourself back up and continue juggling life. And that's life explained to you with these 3 balls. And these 3 balls have taught me a lot. My whole life, ever since I was a little kid, I've always wanted to learn how to juggle. I never wanted to be a clown or in a circus or anything, but the whole physics of juggling always intrigued me. I remember as a little kid, I would pick up random objects and throw them in the air, attempting to juggle, but miserably fail. I would always get so exasperated because I could never comprehend manipulating 3 objects with 2 hands. It seemed out of this world and physically impossible. Now, by nature, I'm a very curious individual, so anything slightly intriguing to me, I have to learn about. But I had this horrible habit of starting something, then eventually finding an excuse to stop and start something else. Now, some, if not all, can relate with me, but it was like this for many things in my life, until I stumbled on a video on YouTube. And the title of it was The First 20 Hours by Josh Kaufman. Some of you may have seen it, but it was a TED Talk video that taught you how to learn anything in a span of 20 hours. Josh states that to be an expert in something, you need 10,000 hours time spent on a specific skill. But to be good at something like juggling, all you needed was 20 hours. Now you can check out the specific link right here to hear the details about the video later, but I took on this challenge and I incorporated everything that Josh talked about in his video and applied it to juggling. So every morning I would wake up and for an hour I would spend my time learning key information about juggling. I would get frustrated, not that I couldn't keep the balls up, but the fact that I had to pick the balls up every time I dropped them. Like life, the hardest part is picking yourself back up after you fail. And these balls fell a lot in a span of 1 hour. So much that I started to develop back pain before I had to go to work. So I stuck with it, and no matter how frustrated I got, I pushed through. And after a few weeks, I began to get better at it, but I was like an 8, excited to see a banana because I didn't know how to control the balls. But over time, I practiced, and I began to gain control, and I began to be able to take the balls wherever I went. I never thought, as a person, I would ever be coordinated enough to learn how to juggle, but I did. And by committing myself to 20 hours, I became proficient in the sport of 3-ball juggling. Not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, 3. And I learned new ways, my brain learned new things, and I also found out ways my body was able to adapt over time through mere repetition. When I first started to juggle, I stumbled upon an article that talked about how physicians were using juggling to help treat patients with brain trauma. And it wasn't the act of juggling that helped them get better, but it was the act of picking the balls back up and trying over and over again to build new connections in the brain to help them get better. You see, something that you guys don't know about me is that I'm a brain trauma survivor. About 3 years ago, I was in a school playground and I attempted to jump on a 5-foot brick wall. I jumped, landed on it, and quickly lost my footing, falling headfirst on cement. So imagine a glass vase falling from 5 feet on cement. That was my head. And discretionary advice, this was the result. And 2 things that you can get from this picture is that it was fairly painful, and I also like taking selfies in the wrong moments. It's pretty bad. But I was physically fine, but the fall had quickly altered my mental state, and life began to get a little mundane after a while. I started to develop social anxiety, depression, and loss of focus in my life. But that's when I picked up juggling, and that's when I persisted to get well. You see, juggling taught me 3 things. It taught me patience, focus, and to always pick myself back up. And the mere act of picking myself back up had instilled a habit in my mind that applied to different areas of my life. And I had created a simple habit through mere repetition that was able to change my life forever. I never thought I would be the type of individual that would be able to pick themselves back up after adversity and failure. But through juggling, I was able to build a resilient mind that was able to take those setbacks and failures and learn from them. You see, as a society, we always learn to go, 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 and never focus on one thing. So I urge you, pick something that you've always wanted to learn and go for it. It all starts with that first ball. And after 20 hours, something amazing will start to happen. Thank you.